At this workshop, we have come together to share ideas of how we can best tell the African conservation story. It gives me immense pleasure to know that today I'm speaking to the main setter who dictate what African families, the youth, children, and our leaders watch and consume in their device.
Over 80% of Nairobi's water is coming from there.
The past 3-4 days have been fantastic. I mean, very educating. I've been able to learn so much from, attending this training by the Africa Wildlife Foundation.
I have learned a lot from this workshop, and it was really resourceful. It was rich of knowledge.
It's been a very good opportunity to network with colleagues as well, to be able to also make contacts, especially with African wildlife officials.
Actually, I've never really looked at conservation the way I was taught in this training. I've never really, looked at it from the angle I'm beginning to look at it now.
I'm Cameroonian, but I didn't know as much. I didn't know much about Pharaoh until I attended this conference, and one of the speakers that came on and spoke a lot about Pharaoh and gave us like a vivid description of the environmental and conservation work that's going there.
This partnership is going to go a long way for me in my career, because it's opened my mind to certain information I wasn't privy to before now. And I know that African Wildlife Foundation, as they already told us, will help us provide data for us on some of these issues on Africa, help us give us access to some of these communities, take us on the ground, and so we can do good reporting.
For a very long time, we've told the African story from a very negative perspective, but there are conservation activities going on across Africa, successful ones. This is very important to tell this story. So if organizations like the African Wildlife Foundation can open their doors, give journalists more access, more information into these stories, and we can tell these stories.
For Africa Wildlife Foundation, I want them to more like step up in terms of like telling us or pointing to us areas where they feel that we can better tell success stories.
It's time to put on your boots, and it's time to get to work, because we've learned so much in the space of 4 days so far, and I think it's just best that we start seeing the fruits of what we've learned in reports that we will be doing going forward, in the stories that we will be telling, and how we interpret and tell these stories.
From your own, you can even take